So today was one of those days where if it could go wrong, it will go wrong. I started making a video of what I was doing at the house, and it involved pressure washing the back deck and the well pump house that I've been working on, because I wanted to pressure wash that so I could get it nice and clean before I paint it. So I cleared off the back deck, took everything off of it for the most part, and went and got the pressure washer. When I went to put gas in it, as soon as I popped the lid to the tank, I could smell the bad gas in there. I guess I had forgotten to drain the tank the last time I used it, and so the gas had went bad in there. So I ended up draining the fuel out of the tank and filled it back up with new gas, and tried starting it. I couldn't get it started, so I used starting fluid to get it going, which it would start for a minute and then cut back off. I had to keep using starting fluid to keep it running, so I ended up taking the float bowl off, and it was full of a bunch of debris. Whatever happens with gas when it gets old, it was all gunked up in there. So I messed with the float, and no fuel was coming down. So I ended up removing the carburetor. I took the whole thing apart and cleaned it out the best I could with what I had, which was the starting fluid and gas, and I used a thin piece of wire to go through all the channels where the gas would travel to make sure it would all flow through there easily. And some of those were gunked up and blocked, is the reason why it wouldn't get started. So all in all, it took me probably a good 2 hours to finally get it running. So I get it running, hook the hose up to it, and I start pressure washing. As soon as I hooked the hose up to it, though, I could see water leaking out of the front of the pump, which water shouldn't be leaking at all from any part of the machine. So I really didn't pay it no mind. I figured if I could go ahead and get the job done, it wouldn't be an issue. But I noticed that it started to get worse, so I ended up stopping the machine, and I tightened down the bolts more, as tight as I could get them. They were already pretty tight, but I tightened them down as much as I could without damaging anything, and started the machine back up, and the leak was less. It wasn't completely solved, but it was less. And I proceeded to do the work, and about 10 minutes into it, I see water starting to gush out of the backside of the pump. So now there's a leak in the front and a leak in the up against the engine. So I stop it, and I ended up pulling the pump off, the whole pump itself off the engine, and as soon as I pulled it off, I could see that the seal in the rear of the pump had blown out, and whatever oil or grease that's inside of it was mixed with water. So that wasn't good. When I took off the front of the pump, I could see that a seal on the front of the pump was blown out. So I guess that's where the water came in and messed with the innards and blew out the backside. So needless to say, I didn't get much done on the deck. Pretty much my whole day was shot because of that. This thing cost like $400 back when it was bought new, but it's probably like 6 years old. Yeah, it's around 6 years old. but it has only been used a handful of times. I've only used it, 2 or 3 times since I moved back home. And my mom said that my dad only used it a handful of times himself. So I went online searching around and found another pump to replace it, and that's $108 and change off of Amazon. The seals, the oil, and some other miscellaneous parts come out to like $50. So I figured might as well just buy a new pump versus trying to piece this one back together, But I will definitely make sure I don't leave gas in it next time. What blew those seals out, I have no idea. Maybe they rotted over time somehow. That's only a guess, I'm not sure. But yeah, I ended up taking a nap shortly thereafter because it was rough to do all that work and then have everything splatter in your face. It wasn't a good time. I was frustrated, but I'm okay now. I'm out on my walk. Figured, be a nice time to talk about it. It's over, done with. My uncle's bringing his pressure washer over tomorrow, along with the plywood I need for the well pump house. So I'll use his pump till we get a chance to...
Oh, I thought you were fishing.
No, I'm just...
I was gonna say, you catch anything?
No. I saw a couple in there floating around.
For real?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so he's dropping off plywood tomorrow, so he'll drop the pump off and I'll just do what I need to do with his. I know he already told me that he hasn't run it in quite a while, so more than likely I'm going to end up having to work on his to get it running. But hopefully it's not near as bad as what I faced today. So it's nice out right now. The sun's getting ready to set, but it's beautiful. Good day for a walk.